if you can check the tape, last week I said I want the Niners to win. Just you can't beat them. You can't do it.
Dude, you can't.
You can't beat number 15 when he's playing like that. I'm sorry. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. Like, I don't know. I think I text you guys like, minute 53 left.
That's
Don't
it.
like this. Don't like this at all. Like, it's just so frustrating when you're watching a guy like that on the other team. You just have to be like, damn it. Like, we tried so hard.
What do we do?
But you know what? Like yes, he's ridiculous. He's the best football player I've ever seen. I've been watching football for like 30 years. But if there's so many things that happen in these games, like if punt doesn't go off guys' ankle, right?
Dude,
like that's the biggest one, right? That the Chiefs offense
Moody
was
missing an extra.
Moody
point.
missing the kick was the worst. Did they win the one game?
No. Okay. The extra point was worth 1 point. The muff
But they'd be
punt
up by one.
wasn't a muff punt.
But they'd be up by one, so at the end of the game, they have to score a touchdown.
Which not to say that he couldn't do it. Not to say that he couldn't do it.
They
But
would have.
to watch him come back the way he did, and then all of a sudden I mean, dude, just incredible. I mean, this is one of those things where you're watching him, and I agree, Jay. I can't stand the way he's over here all the time. Like, come on. Like, eventually you're watching it, and you're like, God, that would irritate me. But I'll tell you what, him in a clutch situation, holy shit, man. Unreal. Him and Andy Reid, they're insane, man.
Let's start with our mics because I know Boone, you're going in this direction here. Welcome into the O-line committee. Welcome. We just completed our first ever football season on this podcast. So
and it was incredible.
By the way.
It was how overtime ending. I mean, fucking overtime.
How about who was the NFL suit, like the vice president guy that did media early in Super Bowl week? And he made a joke. He said, "Yeah, we got the script handed down to us by Roger Goodell in the league. This is the first ever double overtime game that you guys are going to see in a few days." Like he was presumably joking, and it didn't go to double overtime technically.
Yeah, he was sitting there like, please no, please
no.
Oh God!
Score now.
Literally 3 seconds away from everyone being like, "I knew it." All right. Obviously, my mic's going to have to be the Chiefs, man, and more importantly, these three guys, because these three guys are. I'm gonna go order of importance. Ready? Andy Reid, number one. The fact that he's still doing it and still having fucking fun doing it, and the fact that everyone still loves him and still wants to go out there. And I mean, the guy he's on every Allstate commercial. He's fucking hilarious, by the way. I think he's so funny. I really do. And then you see him out here and some of the plays that he runs, corn dog. You got fucking beat on a play called corn dog.
Does he know all of his clever red zone plays after like breaded State Fair food?
I bet you he does, like cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger. Like, dude, this shit is funny. Could you imagine being in that huddle with 3 seconds left in overtime? Hey, I want to go, why corn dog? You'd be like, what?
This guy.
Unbelievable. 2, Patrick Mahomes. Phenomenal. Dude makes $500 million. He's probably the only player in the NFL that actually deserves $500 million. He carried that entire team this year through all the drops, through all the bullshit, through all the Instagram posts coming back at everybody. It wasn't about you guys. It was about the fans. Yeah, we're not an idiot, Kadarius, and neither are they. That's why you didn't dress, you fucking idiot.
2-time Super Bowl champion. 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Good chance they're like, hey, the diamonds in yours are fake. The diamonds in yours are fake.
2-time Super Bowl champion.
The diamonds in yours are fake. Just saying. Go ahead. Are you gonna call me? Motherfucker again? Okay, they're not real.
Those are zirconiums.
They're so fake. Kelce, there was a minute in that game where he was like, "Fuck no, I'm not gonna let my boy go down alone." He caught that ball and he hit the afterburners on that like 3rd and 5, and it was a mesh route, and you could see 3 guys chasing him, and he was like, "I will not be stopped." Like he just now he took a hit, but it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it.
That one safety destroyed his own shoulder.
Broke his own shoulder, dude.
That dude tried to hit him as hard as humanly possible and shattered his shoulder.
Dude, that was a malicious game. I mean, that was one of those games where guys were getting after it.
Since you brought up Kelce, here's the thing. How do we feel here at the O-line committee about what he did to Andy Reid? Because I am very much like, I'm not okay with what I saw. Like, I'm really not, from a couple different standpoints. One, the disrespect, and like, there's something about your head coach where whether you love him, you hate him, or anything in between, you don't go up and do what you did to him and chest bump him and yell in his face and all those things on a public setting. If that's closed doors and you have that kind of relationship with him in a meeting room where you feel you can stand up and say that type of thing, but I don't buy the whole emotions were high, that's my boy. Like, if they lose that game, I feel like this is a way bigger issue and a huge deal compared to what it is now, where it's just going to get swept under the rug. That's my first issue with it. The second one is you need to know better about who's watching this game. If you say you want to stand up and represent the younger fans and you want to be a leader in the NFL and in the community and all that nonsense, you can't show a generation of young fans that that's acceptable to do. And I've yet to hear him publicly apologize. Maybe I missed it yesterday.
He joked about it.
He joked about it, but I think he needs to stand up and publicly apologize, saying, hey, my emotions were high, but you should never do that to your head coach. I don't know. How do we feel about it? I
agree.
I did not enjoy what Travis Kelce did to Andy Reid in that moment.
I'm not going to lie. My wife brought it up to me. She was watching the game with me, surprisingly. And I think it was more for the Swift because she watched the second half too. I couldn't believe it. But
No,
at one
don't lie.
point,
It was for Usher, buddy. She wanted to see
It might have been.
45-year-old Usher just shut
might
off.
have been.
My wife was yelling, "Take off your shirt!" the entire first 6 minutes of
can
that
we
performance,
talk
and
about the kind of
popped when
dancer he
did.
is? He's
Hey.
phenomenal. He moves around that
45?
stage. Holy
45?
shit, dude, get it, bro. You
Hey,
are
would you
fun to
guys
watch.
would you guys let Usher? By the way, Alicia Keys is married. Would you let Usher hug your wife like that in front of 120
Absolutely
million
not.
people?
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, no shit,
Touch my
dude.
wife. Came on.
I mean, that was.
But it
Shit
like,
got red real quick, guys. I don't know what happened. I don't know. No, but hey, going back to what we were saying, I agree with you 100%. Just because you're boys with somebody doesn't mean you get to go over and start yelling at them and chest bumping them. Two, because it was Andy Reid. Like, he is one of the oldest, one of the most do not push me. And Travis literally went up and was like, what the fuck? And like drilled him. And it was like, in that moment, dude, I'm surprised somebody on the sideline wasn't like, that's enough. Like, that is absolutely way too, dude.
Jarek was McKinnon was the one that was yanking him away.
Bro, I agree with you. That's not cool. And I feel like it's kind of been the theme a little bit this year with him, too. And that's why I put Kittle above him, because Kittle doesn't have these moments where he fucking loses his mind. Yeah, he gets mad, but he'll go out and just smear a defensive end all across the field, which for me is fun. That's how football's supposed to be. I get mad, I turn up, I go crazy. I don't turn around and punch the head coach and go, why wasn't I in? Because, dumbass, you needed a water break.
Yeah.
Hello. That's how the fucking game goes.
Yeah, I love that Twitter dragged him a little bit for that too.
I
I was
it's
a little worried that people were gonna be like, "Oh, it's okay," emotions were high. Like, no, that's
Not the head man.
dude.
Not the
that's
head
like,
man.
Even like young players on your team, like there's a lot of people that look up to you as a leader. Like, and that's just something you cannot do as a leader. You got issues like that, put it in a closed door meeting.
I agree with you guys. It was.
He'll probably
weird.
bring it up on his podcast and apologize, and everyone will
Yeah.
go,
Oh, yeah.
it's okay. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I have an issue.
It was weird. My biggest takeaway from it, though, was you got probably 50 million Taylor Swift fans watching football for like the first time. It was like their first actual Super Bowl immersion. And they're watching Travis Kelce show some dark sides of his personality for the first time. There was that subsection of football and Taylor Swift Twitter that are like, wait a second. Wait, does he have rage issues? Is
can
he
you do
is
that?
he
Can you
treating
push your
Taylor
coach?
like this behind the scenes? Is she blink twice, Taylor, if you're in danger in this relationship?
Dude, my wife looked at me and was like, I know for a fact you can't do that. It's like, yeah, you should never do that. You should never do that.
Dude, like on Mahomes, real quick, in Vikingsville here, where we talk about like Kirk Cousins for 6 years, I feel like every conversation among the fan base is with quarterbacks like that, with Dak, with Tua, with like that sort of B level of quarterback. It's always a race to figure out why it's not their fault, right? Well, Tua, I mean, the weather was bad, and his offensive line didn't really hold up, and well, the defense over here, right? We're just like making a list of reasons why he's not to blame for the loss. Patrick Mahomes, if you wanted to, could have those same lists, right? Over like the last couple years. Oh, they traded away the best receiver in the NFL or a future Hall of Famer, and the offensive lines had some issues with injuries. My center keeps snapping it to my toes. The defense gives up a late score over here. My receivers lead the league in drops. Like that same list of excuses, he just overcomes it, dude. Like he He not overcomes it to win 10 games and get to the division round. Like overcomes it to build a dynasty.
Yeah.
And that's like he is the ultimate. As we sit here and make excuses for everyone else, he just rises above the excuses and delivers hardware to Chiefs fans and to his teammates.
I mean, this was, if I recall, this was the biggest cap hit that he's ever had.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was 18% of the cap was his
Purposely,
salary.
and they did it as kind
this
of a,
was like,
a
okay,
reset year, whatever.
And they won. Now that team's just going to get better, right? Like his cap hit's going to become less and less until they restructure, and they're just going to be able to keep going, getting more and more weapons. Like I don't think they can keep Chris Jones because he's going to need about $120 million. But I mean, that team's not just going to like fall off the map because money's actually going to be back in the team's pocket to go spend starting in March. It's crazy.
And not only that,
that's the craziest piece.
You can finally go get some weapons for Patrick, and that's what's even crazier to think is he doesn't even have any weapons, and now you're like, dude, the back end of that secondary, if they can stay healthy and they can be good, dude,
McDuffie's a dude.
When he blitzed and knocked that ball, like Birdie had no idea where it was coming from, and he just the lane that opened up between the left tackle and guard.
I honestly didn't even see it. Like I'm usually
I don't think anybody did, dude.
I'm pretty good at looking at the screen and being like, okay, it looks like slot pressure here. I was like, oh, cool, he's got one-on-one with Ayuk. And then, as you said, set hut, and they rotated and came off the edge. I was like, oh, that was spicy.
McDuffie.
Like that was a spicy Spagnola blitz. That thing was a beautiful thing. I think we're gonna break that one down, right, Mac?
We got that one.
Oh, I'm guaranteed we have that one because that came out of
one
nowhere.
Was spicy.
We've got
dude. Even Brock was like, "What the? Where did he come from?" And he threw it, and McDuffie was like, "Nope."